હું જતીન કાપડિયાના ગ્રુપની જ છું.
અચ્છા.
એટલે બીજા એક પ્રોગ્રામ એટેન્ડ કરું છું ને એમની પાસેથી જ આ નંબર મળ્યો છે તમારો.
Okay, great, wonderful.
Thank you.
Welcome.
ओके, अब हम शुरू करते हैं भावना जी.
हाँ जी, शुरू कीजिए.
गजवदना जय गणपति वंदन मंगल मूर्ति विनायका मंगल मूर्ति विनायका मंगल मूर्ति विनायका गौरी गणेश विनायका गौरी गणेश विनायका गौरी गणेश विनायका गौरी गणेश विनायका शुक्लांबरधर नाथ गजानन शुक्लांबरधर नाथ गजानन मंगल मूर्ति विनायका मंगल मूर्ति विनायका गजवदना जय गणपति वंदन गजवदना जय गणपति वंदन मंगल मूर्ति विनायका मंगल मूर्ति विनायका मंगल मूर्ति विनायका गौरी गणेश विनायका गौरी गणेश विनायका शुक्लांबरधर नाथ गजानन शुक्लांबरधर नाथ गजानन मंगल मूर्ति विनायका मंगल मूर्ति विनायका गजवदना जय गणपति वंदन गणपति वंदन गजवदना जय गणपति वंदन मंगल मूर्ति विनायका मंगल मूर्ति विनायका मंगल मूर्ति विनायका गौरी गणेश विनायका गौरी गणेश विनायका. थैंक यू.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद चंद्र जी.
जी थैंक. हाँ जी, डॉक्टर पंड्या गाएंगे.
हाँ जी.
आज मैं देवी की प्रार्थना से शुरुआत कर रहा हूँ। सर्वमंगल मांगल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थ साधके शरणके गौरी नारायणी नारायणी नमोस्तुते। जयवन्ति मङ्गलाकाली भद्रकाली पाहिनी दुर्गा कामा शिवा धात्री वाहन सदा नमोस्तुते। स्वाहा सदा नमोस्तुते। या कुन्दे नृतशारहार धवला या शुभ्र व्रजस्त्रावृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितधरा या नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। या देवी सर्वभूतेषु शक्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। हे शारदे मां हे शारदे मां अज्ञानता से समेता ले मां। हे शारदे मां अज्ञानता से समेता ले मां। शारदे मां अज्ञानता से समेता ले मां। तुझसे देवी संगीत तुझसे हर शौक तेरा है हर गीत तुझसे हम हैं अकेले हम हैं अधूरे तेरी शरण हमें प्यार शारदे मां अज्ञानता से समेता ले मां। मुनियों ने समझी गुणियों ने जानी मुनियों ने समझी गुणियों ने जानी वेदों की भाषा पुराणों की वाणी हम ये तो समझे हम ये तो जाने विद्या का मंत्र अधिकार ये शारदे मां अज्ञानता से समेता ले मां। कमल पे विराजे तो श्वेत वर्ण तेरी कमल पे विराजे, हाथों में वीणा मुकुट शरणाजी, मन से हमारे मिटा दे अंधेरा, हमको ज्ञानों का संसार दे माँ, हे शारदे माँ, हे शारदे माँ, अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ, अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ.
Thank you, Divant bhai. Thank you.
Thank
So,
you.
Abhilash ji, are you ready?
Sure, Bhavna ji. And
Okay. We also have Seema Rathi here with us today, and she has volunteered because today is Adhik Maas, and she has volunteered to share a little bit about what the significance of Adhik Maas is.
Great.
So when you are finished, then we will hear from her very briefly.
Thank you. It's very short one. Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Har Har Bole, Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Har Har Bole, Namah Shivaya. Rameshwarai, Shiv Rameshwarai, Har Har Bole, Namah Shivaya. Rameshwarai, Shiv Rameshwarai, Har Har Bole, Namah Shivaya. Gangadharai, Shiv Gangadharai, Har Har Bole, Namah Shivaya. Gangadharai, Shiv Gangadharai, Har Har Bole, Namah Shivaya. Jatadharai, Shiv Jatadharai, Har Har Bole, Namah Shivaya. Jatadharai, Shiv Jatadharai, Har Har Bole, Namah Shivaya. Someshwarai, Shiv Someshwarai, Har Har Bole, Namah Shivaya. Someshwarai, Shiv Someshwarai, Har Har Bole, Namah Shivaya. Vishveshwarai, Shiv Vishveshwarai, Har Har Bole, Namah Shivaya. Vishveshwarai, Shiv Vishveshwarai, Har Har Bole, Namah Shivaya. Koteshwarai, Shiv Koteshwarai, Har Har Bole, Namah Shivaya. Koteshwarai, Shiv Koteshwarai, Har Har Bole, Namah Shivaya. Mahakaleshwarai, Har Kaleshwarai, Har Har Bole, Namah Shivaya. Mahakaleshwarai, Shiv Kaleshwarai, Har Har Bole, Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Har Har Bole, Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Har Har Bole, Namah Shivaya. Namaste.
Oh, that was
Thank you,
so
Adya. Thank you,
wonderful.
Abhilashi.
And it's always such a treat to have our young people
Yeah.
singing along and father and daughter duet. I think that was extra special. Thank you so much. Adya,
Very
it's
nice.
all
Very nice,
beautiful
Adya.
to you. Very, very nice. Very nice.
Yeah. Yeah, she sang beautiful.
Beautifully.
भावना जी
मेरे
हाँ जी, बोलिए। नमस्ते अरुण।
नमस्ते। मैंने एक करेक्शन अनाउंस करनी थी।
हाँ जी, बोलिए।
उस दिन मैंने बोला था कि किसी ने जो है अनोनिमसली $100,000 दिया है।
हाँ
इस
जी।
101,000 क्योंकि कल मैं जब गया था बुक कीपिंग करने तो आई फाउंड द चेक, इट वाज 101,000।
Okay, wonderful, excellent.
very nice. Very
Very
nice.
nice.
तो जो भी उसके
bonus.
क्योंकि उनकी एक ही कंडीशन है कि हम लोगों को फंड कलेक्ट करके मैच करना होगा वो अमाउंट। तो
अच्छा।
मनी इज कमिंग इन। आई एम जस्ट रिक्वेस्टिंग एवरीबॉडी कि जो भी आप सेवा कर सकते हैं मंदिर के लिए प्लीज जरूर कीजिए। तो बस
And I think we've already collected close to somewhere between 30 and 40,000 in the last week or two in matching funds for that. Correct? Huh. So definitely it's very good, and there is a renewed enthusiasm about the temple and all the projects that the temple is involved in. I don't know if you had an opportunity to join us last Friday, but we had a 9/11 Hindu Sanskriti Samagam where we partnered with Volunteer New York to create greeting cards for our troops. And we, Abhilash ji delivered 47 cards created by our members. They were very, very beautiful cards, and I will be emailing out the photographs of all those participants as well as the cards over the weekend. So please look for that email. We now have Seema Rathi, who is a longtime member and participant of our temple. And so Dr. Rathi, please go ahead whenever you're ready.
Okay, namaste everybody. Very nice, Adya. You're really inspiring the older people, the younger people. It's nice to hear all of you do such good bhajans. Chandraji, as always. So, aaj Adhik Mas, I'm going to be a mixed Hindi and English. Today, Adhik Mas means it's an extra month, Adya, if you do not know. And this comes every 2 years and 8 months approximately. The reason it comes because the calendar year goes with the sun's orbit, and the lunar calendar goes with the way the moon orbits. So the moon orbits round the earth and the earth orbits round the sun. It takes 365 days for the earth to go round the sun, and that becomes one calendar year. And at the same time, the moon takes 354 days to orbit round the earth while it is orbiting around the sun. So there's a gap of 11 days between the solar and a lunar calendar. And every 2 years and 8 months approximately, these 11 days are then accumulated, and they call it an Adhik Mas. So Adhik Mas also is known as Purushottam Mas because Krishna blessed that the moon, that people will also worship you, and with my blessings, Purushottam, that is Purushottam is Krishna, and whatever deeds you do during this extra month, it will add, multiply. If you're just doing it one time in any other month, like any donation or generosity or good deeds, in the Adhik Mas, it becomes multiplied by 3 or 4 times. So this is a month we also keep it for our spiritual growth, more than doing events like the worldly affairs like weddings and parties and celebrations, because that is more materialistic, and spirituality is more when you are staying with yourself, knowing about your Atma, your true self, not the body level and not the mind level and not at the intellect level, but at the self level. So when we start recognizing as ourselves at the self level, we realize that all of us are one, because all of us have the same Atma. And when we stay in that Atma level, then we automatically realize we are love, we are oneness. And when we live in this love and oneness, the real state, the state which we come from and which we will get into, and these are only dramas of showing our life as form and names and people and objects. When we get detached from all this, we will realize what is Atma, what is self, and what is each other. And we will have no bhed bhav, no difference between each of us. And we will see all of us as one. And when we see all of us as one, it is oneness. And then love springs from our heart. And we are all made of love. Love is not all the love we talk about, but it is the true nectar, the juice, which we call in Hindi prema. There is no English translation for prema. So this is the meaning of this Adhik Mas, that in this month, we pray to our own selves to realize our own self. And there's a little story in this. Narsingh Bhagwan, he kills Prahlad's father, who was given a boon that he will neither die in the day or in the night. He will neither die in the 12 months. He will neither die with a weapon or with all those number of things. And so he was killed in the Adhik Mas, the extra month which the boon did not cover. And that is why God made it that this Adhik Mas is to kill Prahlad's son. That goes in the story, that is a mythology. But in the science form, it is upon the orbiting of the solar and the lunar calendars. And what we should do at a spiritual level is the significance of this month. Thank you for the time. And I hope we all can live that with the reason of both science and spirituality.
Thank you so much, Seema ji, for that explanation, and really, really appreciate it. It's 6:27. I think Dr. Jatin Kapadia has joined us. Jatin bhai, if you could just unmute yourself, please, and then in a few minutes we will get started. And I just want to say that once Dr. Kapadia has finished his dialogue, then after that we will have a few minutes for question and answer. So if you have questions, you can kindly unmute yourself and just ask the questions. We ask that you be just respectful of the time as well. Please ask the questions. And you can also type your questions in the chat box if you like, and I will be or Abhilash will be more than happy to ask the questions for you if you don't feel comfortable speaking. So with that, Jatin bhai, we still have another 2 minutes to go. If you would just like to say anything as a prologue or anything. Yeah.
Yes, I will.
Okay. Good. So we're good. All right.
I want to share the screen, please.
Sure. So let me just make you a co-host. All right. I think you should be able to share it now.
Okay. Yes.
Hari Om, Jatinji.
Hari Om, Hari Om. No, let it go. Okay. So Hari Om, everybody.
We're not able to see the screen for some reason. Is everyone able to see the screen?
Not yet. We haven't shared it yet.
Yeah.
So will you please?
You don't want the screen.
No, but no, it's okay. But at least let me talk to them. Okay. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yes, we can see you.
Okay, wonderful. So I want to give a couple of information before we begin the class.
Okay.
One is in October 9, 10, 11, 12. 9, 10, 11, 12 of October, we have e-camp. Chinmaya Mission New York has arranged for an e-camp in which there will be 6 sessions by Swami Prakashananda, 1 on Friday, 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday, and 1 on Monday morning. It's a long weekend, so a lot of people are off on Monday, and if they are not, we will have the session only 7 to 8 in the morning, so even most working people will be able to watch. And if you cannot, we are going to be recording it, and it will be available to everybody only for a couple of days after the camp is finished. But we will be in, for some reason, if you miss one of the classes, you will be able to access it later on. So this is an e-camp. It is reveling in Ramayana. Reveling in Ramayana. That's the topic. Swamiji knows Ramayana very well. He's master. He has taught the whole Ramayana many, many, many times. So it will be wonderful. If all of you join, you will love it. And we are about to put it online, all the details in next 1 or 2 days, and every one of you will get it. So if anybody wants to join it, please join. I wish most of you join. Then from 17th onwards for 10 days, we will have Navratri program. And the Navratri program is 7 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Yes.
every single day. So for 9 days, we will have puja and talk and discussion about first 3 days Durga Devi, next 3 days Lakshmi Devi, next 3 days Saraswati Devi, and the 10th day will be poem and some discussion on Dashera. So 10 days program, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. by Chinmaya Mission. And once again, that program is free. Anybody can join it. Please join. We will all enjoy it together.
What are the dates again, Dr. Kapadia? For
I will send it to all of you, but it will be in one camp, one camp October 9th and 11th, 12, and Ratri program starting October 17 for 10 days.
And you can do puja along with us
And
while we are doing the puja.
Even though we will be doing puja for all 9 days, all of us can join puja, and you can do puja whenever you want. You don't have to do all 10 days, but you can join, let's say, 1 day for Durga Puja, 1 day for Lakshmi Puja, etc. Whatever is possible, and you can do it.
Okay.
So let's begin Bhaja Govindam. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let us chant the first shloka. You can keep on mute, but we all can chant together. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudamate, Samprapte Sannihite Kale, Nahi Nahi Rakshati Dukrin Karane, Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Govindam Bhaj Moodamate, Samprapte Sannihite Kale, Nahi Nahi Rakshati Dukrin Karane. So let's talk about introduction to this book. 2 sessions before, we talked about we do have a lot of scriptures in Hinduism, and it's not just one Bible. So Vedas are called Shruti. Vedas simplified is called Brahma Sutra. Vedas explain in a story form is Bhagavad Gita. Then we have the history, and 2 biggest epics are Mahabharata and Ramayana. We do have 18 Puranas. Those Puranas are based on Mahabharata, Ramayana, and other Ishwaras. And then we have Prakrana Grantha. We have Smriti, which is the rules of conduct, how we live in the society, how we should be behaving. The simplest books are Prakrana Grantha. So there are about popular 10 to 15 Prakrana Grantha, which are very popular. And they are meant for beginners. So for all of us who are not masters or well informed in Vedas, for them, Prakrana Grantha is an introduction, is the beginning of understanding of spirituality. Even among all Prakrana Grantha, the first, the easiest, the simplest is Bhaja Govindam. Even though it is simplest, it is written by Shankaracharya ji, and anything written by Shankaracharya has a much, much deeper meaning. Is the master of spirituality. So even though this is a simple book, believe me, even if you hear the talks from the big masters about Vedas or Upanishads, they will mention in their own commentaries 1 or several shlokas from Bhaja Govindam. So it is very popular, it is very musical, it's very beautiful. There are 31 shlokas. This book is written by Shankaracharya. Let's talk a couple of minutes about who was Shankaracharya. He was born in 788. And he lived for 32 years, so up to 820. So this is exactly 1200 years ago. He was born in Kaladi. Kaladi is a small place in Kerala. He was the most popular missionary. Without Shankaracharya, we would not have had Hinduism the way we know it today. So the rishis thousands of years ago meditated, and when they understood what life is all about, who am I, they taught their disciples, and ultimately Ved Vyas compiled all the information from all the rishis to write Vedas. Now, that was approximately 5,000 years ago. It definitely was more than 3,000 years ago. But ordinarily, most people accept that it was written approximately 5,000 years ago. When the religion, and any religion, grows older and older and older, and Hinduism became very old, so it started decaying. So there are ups and downs in Hinduism too, like any other religion. And when Shankaracharya was born, it was really in decay. Like 4,000 years ago, almost 100% of the people living in India, they were Hindus. It was called Sanatan Dharma. And everybody followed Hinduism. Then 2,500 years ago, two Mahapurush, they were born. One was Bhagavan Buddha and another was Bhagavan Mahavir. So in India, both of them became very popular, and there were approximately by year 2018 and maybe 200, year 200 or so, around that time, there were approximately 80% of the people were Buddhists in India. And that was continued to be that way until Shankaracharya was born. That was 1200 years ago. So when Shankaracharya was born, approximately 80% of the people were Buddhist. Now, Shankaracharya knew and he understood very well that Buddhism by now has also decayed. And what happened was that it broke down into small, approximately 75 branches of Buddhism. And every branch is led by a person who will say that what I follow is correct and what everyone else follows is wrong. So the purpose of religion was to make money. And that's when people lost faith in the religion. So even Buddhism was decayed. So Shankaracharya, when he studied, he figured it out that this is the time to awake India and let me teach Indians north, south, east, west, all around he traveled and he taught Hinduism. Now a little bit about his birth. His parents were not having a child and they were very religious, spiritual people. So they did a lot of tapas and they were Shiva Bhakta. And Shiva blessed them with a male child. That's what they wanted. And Lord Shiva asked the parents, would you like a child who is extraordinary and live a short life? Or would you like a child who lives a normal life with a normal IQ and normal person? And the mother said, I want an extraordinary child, even if he lives a short life. So Shankaracharya was supposed to live 16 years, only 16 years. But there are a lot of miracles in Shankaracharya's life. And we are not going to go through all of them, but I will mention a few of them. So in good old days, in the past, people appear and disappear, and they were there thousands of years ago. So Ved Vyas appeared in the life of Shankaracharya. And when he noticed that the whole country is in decay and needs to be awakened, and Shankaracharya is such an intelligent man and has a capacity to explain, so he doubled his age, and instead of 16, Shankaracharya lived up to 32, again a short life, but definitely better than 16 years of age. When he was 3-4 years old, his father passed away. When he was 5, he wrote a book at the age of 5. And then during his life, he wrote approximately 100 books, either the commentaries on different hymns, explanation of most Vedas, but the Vedas are too many. And his explanation of, 4 Vedas, but 108 Upanishads. And he wrote the commentaries on 10 Upanishads. They were called major Upanishad. The problem was, for people like us, the problem was the Sanskrit Vedas commentary was in Sanskrit. And it is almost impossible for common people to understand. We are lucky that a lot of people have translated those Sanskrit commentaries into English. So now we are capable of having the English commentaries of Sanskrit scriptures, and we can understand better. So those 10 which he translated, or he wrote the commentaries, they are called major Upanishads. But there is nothing like major Upanishad, because the minor Upanishad has already in the same amount of depth and understanding as the major Upanishads. So all Upanishads are equally good. Now, when Shankaracharya studied the books, and he was already learned by he was 7 years old, he always wanted to leave the house and live a life of sannyasi. But his father passed away when he was 3-4 years old. The mother had only one child, and mother wouldn't let him go. So when he was 7, between 7 and 8, he was swimming, mother was there, and crocodile caught his leg. And he told his mother, "Mom, I'm leaving now. I can't survive. This crocodile is going to eat me. So before I die, let me be sannyasi." So mom agreed, and Shankaracharya screamed, shouted loudly, "Sannyasoham, sannyasoham, sannyasoham." And miraculously, the crocodile left the grip of his foot and he swam back. So once he became sannyasi, the mother has no control over his life. So he decided, he asked his mother's permission, and he left the house in search of a guru, which he knew where he is going. On the bank of Narmada, there was a guru. His name was Govindapada, and he walked to the ashram of Govindapada, and he stayed there for a few years. Now, Govindapada's guru was Gaudapada, and Gaudapada was such a popular Swami. He wrote Mandukya Upanishad with Karika. And that is so popular that even today, people say that Mandukya and Karika is the best of all Upanishads, all 108 Upanishads. And if you study, digest, meditate on Mandukya Upanishad, and if you don't get realized, you're not going to get realized in this life. It is absolutely fantastic scripture. We hope one day we all study that. So that Govindapada's place, when he reached there, he was meditating. And when he came out, he saw a 7-year-old boy sitting outside. And he asked him, "Who are you?" And Shankaracharya answered in 10 shlokas who he is. And even that, the first time when he talked to his guru, that is known as Dasha Shloki, because there are 10 shlokas in one poem describing who he is. And it was so impressive. He described exactly what Brahman is, what Atma is, and that's who he is. And that was when he was 7. Then Guru Govindapada could not reject him. He wanted him to go back to his mom. He said, go back. I can't teach a 7-year-old child. But he said, when he understood what he said, Dasha Shloki, he got melted. And he said, okay, stay with me. But he knew that this kid is going to bother me. So next day, when Shankaracharya went back to him, he said, okay, you know what you do? You come back to me. You stay in my ashram, but write a commentary on Vishnu Sahasranama. There are 1,000 names of Vishnu. And I want you to write the commentary on 1,000 names of Vishnu. And when you finish writing, come back to me. So he was sure that for 6 months, this kid is not going to come back. 2 days later, Shankaracharya went back to him and put a whole bunch of paper in front of him. This is the commentary. And when Govindapada read that commentary, he said that you don't need me. You don't need a guru. Because in that commentary, he mentioned almost all the Upanishads here and there. And he described 1,000 names of Vishnu. That was Shankaracharya. He only stayed with his guru until he was 11. And he finished all his studies and then he left. So he went north to south, east to west. Eventually, he established 4 mutts. One east, one west, one north, one south. In east was in Jagannath Puri. In the west, it was in Dwarka. In the north, it was Jyotirmat. And in the south, it was Sringeri. And those mutts are there even today. And he decided one thing which was very good is that only the most intelligent Swami or the Guru can be in charge after I go. And every single one of that in charge of every single mutt is even today called Shankaracharya. So they carry the name of Shankaracharya. We in Chennai Mission belong to Sringeri Mutt. So we follow all the rules and the teachings and the regulations of Sringeri Mutt even today. So, and our name is also like everybody's name has Chaitanya on the back of the name. And that is the tradition in Sringeri Mutt. Shankaracharya, in those days, 1200 years ago, the country was divided into small states all over the country. There were multiple states. And what he did is that, see, it's ruled by a king. So all of them were ruled by kings. But whatever king says is what Bhagavan said. So he convinced all the kings, he was a little politician. He convinced all the kings that you must have a Gurukul in every village and you must have a temple in every street. So after that, all over India, multiple temples were built, even in a small village. Everywhere there are temples, and he started building approximately 1200 years ago. And that was the beginning of Gurukul, that people just send the children at the age of 9 to Gurukul, and they go home at the age of 25. Then they decide whether they want to be Grihasti or they want to be sannyasi. So most people were forced to become, okay, you must go home. You must go back to your mom and dad at the age of 25. Stay with father and mother for 1 year. And then if you cannot adjust, come back and be sannyasi for the rest of your life. But most people went back and then had their own families. So that was the tradition until very, very recently. So now let's talk about the book, Bhaja Govindam. The Bhaja Govindam name came up very recently. The real name of the book was Mohamud. So if you have, or if you receive the book, and if you open the book will say Moha Mudgara is the name of the book, not Bhaj Govindam. Bhaj Govindam is a name given very recently after the Britishers came to India. So Moha Mudgara, Mudgara means a hammer, hit the hammer. And Moha has two different meanings. In Hindi, Moha means attachment. I have moha for my son, for my daughter, for my grandchild, for my wife, for my father, for my mother. So in Hindi, moha means attachment. In Sanskrit, moha means delusion. Delusion is misunderstanding or understanding something upside down or wrong understanding. So Moha Mudgara means destroy the misunderstanding. Now, what is the misunderstanding? When we will study more and more and more books, we will understand that there are two large, massive misunderstandings in our mind of all the people. One is that I am this body. I am this body is incorrect. I am the Atman. I am the consciousness is the correct meaning, correct understanding. The second misunderstanding is this world, this universe, this dunya, this earth is real. That is the second biggest misunderstanding. It is untrue. We all know that the world is not real. It is illusionary. And we will describe that further in much more detail eventually. But that's what it is. Okay. And to destroy the misunderstanding is this book is written. But it is very simple, very primary. We will be seeing that it is more like Hindi. There are 31 shlokas. The way he got tempted to write the book is, he was in Banaras. He took a bath in Ganga. He was returning and he saw an 85-year-old man. He was studying grammar and he was repeating, like when we were in 9th grade, remember, we used to try to remember the whole Rama, 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 ha. And we used to kind of cram it up so that we can pass an exam. Well, he was doing the same thing, but at the age of 85. So Shankaracharya stopped, talked to him, talked to all his disciples. That, guys, do you see the problem? The problem is at 85 years is not the age to learn the grammar rule. There is no sense in learning at the age of 85. So what do we do at 85? Then he said, okay, bhakti, spirituality, God's name, Bhaja Govindam. That is what we should be doing at the age of 85. See, in Hinduism, we have divided the whole life into 4 quarters. The first is 0 to 25, second is 25 to 50, third is 50 to 75, and the last is 75 to 100. And we gave different names. And there is a different purpose. What do we do in each quarter? Most of us now fall in Vanprasthashram or Sannyasashram. So 85 absolutely falls in sannyas ashram, and he should be living a totally detached life at the age of 85. And you don't start as if you are a 6-year-old and cram up Rama, Rama, Rama. It doesn't make sense. So that was the purpose he wrote this book. The first shloka is chorus. That's what we chanted. And that is Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam, Bhaja Mudamate. We will be repeating this 30 more times. The next 12 shlokas, Shankaracharya wrote. And that is called the Dvadasha Manjarika Stotram. So Dvadasha Manjarika Stotram means a bouquet of the 12 flowers. Shankaracharya was with 14 disciples, and each one of the disciples wrote one more shloka. So 14 more shloka. So that is called Chaturdasha Manjarika Stotram. So now we have 1, 12, and 14, 27 slokas. And Shankaracharya says, I will close the book by writing 4 more concluding slokas. So total 31 slokas in this book. And first 13 slokas, the chorus plus 12, we will understand the thinking of Shankaracharya. And then his disciples are equally good. So all of the 31 slokas are very interesting. The first one, what did he say? Bhaja Govindam. Let me go back to the slide. Okay, we can read now. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudamate. Bhaja is worship. 3 times he wrote Govindam. Then he said Bhaja Mudamate. Mudamate means the one who is mudha. Mudha is a slow person, the one who understands less, the one who is dull. So if you make a real English translation, it is stupid. A better word, stupid is not a good word. So the book says fool. Hey, fool, wake up. Now Shankaracharya doesn't write this language, but he wants to shake us up that, guys, understand, get up, wake up. It is the time to understand the Lord. So that's why, to shake us up, sometimes even Lord Krishna did that in Bhagavad Gita, that he used a couple of words, very difficult words, and nobody usually uses, but he wants to shake you up. So he said, Mudamate, hey fool, wake up. You have to understand something. What? Samprapte. That means when the time comes. Sannehite kale. Appointed time. What is appointed time? Appointed time to go. Appointed time means that this is the end of our life. So at that time, nahi nahi rakshati is not going to protect. What? Lukrin karane. The grammar rule is not going to protect you, which you are trying to learn at the age of 85. That is not going to help you at your age when it is time to leave this world. So let it go. It is unimportant. Basically, grammar rule is really not necessarily grammar. All it means is that secular knowledge, or the things which we study to earn money. So when we go to the college, we have the secular knowledge of all different specialties. Now there are hundreds of specialties that we can really study in the college. The purpose of studying those things is not only to have the knowledge, but to have a good job when we finish and when we come out of the college. So we can live a reasonably decent, comfortable life. So that is grammar rule or secular knowledge, Lucrin Karna. At the age of 85, he's not going to do any job. So why study alphabet or why study grammar? This is not the time. So one time, the story is, who is it? Narad. Narad is a son of Brahmaji. Now, Brahmaji had four older sons. They were called Sanat Kumaras. So one day Naradji had a mixed nature. Naradji was born with the combination of Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. And Sanat Kumaras were born, the first four mind children of Brahmaji, they were born very sattvic. So the moment they were born, they wanted to have sannyasa. They only wanted to know spirituality. They had nothing to do with the sansar. So Brahmaji thought the only reason I produce the kids is to produce more. And these guys don't want any children and don't want to produce more people. So he mixed Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, and there goes Naradji. Now Naradji also unfortunately did not marry and did not have children, but Naradji one day went to Sanat Kumaras and asked him a question that I want to know Vedas. I want to know spiritualities. I want to know from you and you teach me. So they said, all right, what do you know now? Then Narad says, I know astrology. I know astronomy. I know music. I know language. I know history. And he made a whole list of different things that Naradji knew. And Sanat Kumaras turned around and said, Narad, you know nothing. Those things are not going to be useful in your life. That was the attitude in good old days. Even initially, 1,000 years ago, when people went to study to their guru's house in Gurukula, the most important thing they learned was philosophy, spirituality. Why? That is going to make you a better human being. And then you can always have the job with your dad and mom and whatever is in your family is being done. You just go and do that. That's perfectly fine. But the values and virtues are more important than anything else. The world is completely different right now. But that's okay. The important thing is that the values and virtues are still important today. And that's what we teach in Bal Vihar. So, secular knowledge and wealth does not help at the time we are going to go. And everybody thinks at that time, what is going to happen to me after I go? So let's understand a little bit more about Bhaja and Govindam. What is Bhaja? Bhaja has three meanings. First word, Bhaja, has three meanings. One is simple, we know all, that Bhaja means worship, correct. Bhaja means worship. We worship the Lord is called Bhaja. Bhaja has another meaning, seek the Lord, S-E-E-K, seek the Lord. Seek the Lord means that we want to know spirituality to get to the Brahman, to get to the Lord, to get to the Atman. We want to understand that. That means jnana. So one meaning was bhakti, second meaning is jnana, and there is a third meaning of bhakta, bhaja, means serve the Lord, surrender to the Lord. Serving the Lord means karma yoga. Serving the Lord means we help the other people. That is Karma Yoga. So this Bhaj meaning has all three meanings. Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga. That means surrender totally to the Lord. That is the meaning of Bhaj. Now Govindam. There are a couple of meanings of Govinda is there also in Bhagavad Gita. There are few more meanings exist also. One is the one who gives the speech, who gives us the speech, the Lord. So Atma is Govinda. The knower of earth is also Govinda. That means substratum of the whole universe is Brahman, Atma, the Lord, the Supreme. So that is knower of earth, knower of speech. The knower of senses. What does that mean? That controller of our behavior. Again, it boils down to substratum, Brahman, or Supreme Lord. Then protector of cows. Who is the protector of cows? Krishna. So Krishna is Govinda. And in the literature, in Bhagavatam, in Bhagavad Gita, in our scriptures, the Govinda name comes off and on, and that actually means we are talking about Krishna. And then there is one more meaning, Govinda. Govinda, remember when Shankaracharya went to his guru, he went to his guru named Govindapada. So Govinda is Shankaracharya's guru also. So he is bowing to his own guru by writing a book which mentions that Bhaja Govindam. He's surrendering to his own guru. So Bhaja has several meanings, but definitely it includes a total surrender to the Lord. Govinda has another meaning, that Govinda includes Parameshwar, Krishna, Guru. Now this particular text, particular shloka, includes Naudha Bhakti in our book. So those who have the book, they will see that there is a description of the first shloka, which includes Naudha Bhakti. What is Naudha Bhakti? That is 9 ways of doing bhakti to any Lord. It doesn't matter which Lord you belong to or which Lord is favorite to you, or Ishta Devata, any one of the Ishta Devata is your Lord. And that Ishvara we can do bhakti in 9 different ways. And we can see that now. What are those 9 different ways? Another one after. Next one. Yeah. So Naudha Bhakti is described in Narad Bhakti Sutra, and Naudha Bhakti is also described in Bhagavatam. And in both the books, it is a really detailed description of Naudha Bhakti. But this is just a mentioning of Naudha Bhakti. 1, listening to the glories of the Lord, called Shravanam. So if you are singing bhajans or the Lord's description, and if I'm listening, that is Shravanam. Then when we chant, we ourselves sing, chanting the glory of the Lord is Kirtanam. I think you guys do it between 6 and 6:30 off and on, isn't it? On Friday evening. So chanting and listening and singing of the glory of the Lord in terms of bhajans, these 2 events is called Shravanam and Kirtanam. So this is the way to do bhakti. 3rd way is remembering the Lord all the time. Smaranam. We used to notice in India, we don't notice here, but when people are walking around, here people are walking around with a cell phone and earplug, and we keep talking. In India, 50, 60 years ago, when we were in India, people used to walk around and all they keep chanting Shri Krishna Sharanam, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. That is called Smaranam. Continuously remembering the Lord is Smaranam. Then Pada Sevanam. Pada Sevanam is serving the lotus feet of the Lord. It is a tradition in India that we do the puja. And when we do the puja, we bow to the feet of the Lord. That is another way to do bhakti. Then worshiping him as per the scriptures. Archanam. Archanam means we have many books, and that is called the book of hymns. And that has a Sanskrit description of all the lords. And a lot of people remember, those who have been learning it from birth, they all remember that. And they do the chanting of the scriptural hymns called Archanam. Then Vandanam, we all do that. When we go to the temple, we put two hands together and bow down to the Lord. Some people just bow down only a little bit while standing, and some people prostrate 100% right on the ground. That is Vandanam. Then Dasyam means when we relate to our Ishvara, we become the servant of the Lord. That is dasanam. And we are ready to. We even pray and we tell the Lord, I will do whatever you tell me to do. That is dasyam. And sakyam, like Mirabai did it. All of us do it too. That we discuss with Lord. Sudama did it. Mirabai did it. All the bhaktas did it. Narsi Mehta did it. What they do is that when they get the time, they sit in front of the Lord and they discuss with the Lord and they tell the stories of life to the Lord and describe it to Bhagavan. Said, listen, I am going through this trouble, or I'm so happy because of blessings that my daughter got married, whatever. So that is Sakyam. Bhagavan becomes your friend. And the last is offering one the total worship, the total give up, total surrender to the Lord is called Atmanivedanam. So these are Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. These are the 9 different ways we do the bhakti of the Lord. We can go to the next one. Now we have what, 10 minutes left? At least we can go through a little bit about the next shloka.
About 15 minutes left.
Okay, so we will be able to do the second shloka. Let's try. Mudha jahi danagama trishna kuru sadbuddhim manasi vitrishnam yallabhase nija karmo patam vittam tena vinodaya chittam Mudha jahi danagama trishna kuru sadbuddhim manasi vitrishnam Yallabhase nija karmo patam vittam tena vinodaya chittam Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudamate Samprapte Sannite Kale Nahi Nahi Rakshati Dukram Karane. Mudha. Once again, Bhagavan Sri Shankaracharya repeated that word, Mudha. Have full, Jahihi. Give up, let it go. Mudha, full, let it go. What? Dhanagam Trishna. Dhana, Agama, Trishna. Dhana is wealth. Agama is possess. And Trishna means thirst. Let go the thirst of possessing the wealth. Kuru sat buddhim manasi vitrushnam. Vitrushnam is without passion, devoid of passion. Kuru means do. And sat buddhim, now remember, we might have talked about before and you might have read before also. What is the definition of Atma? The definition of Atma is Sat Chit Ananda. So that Sat is Sat Buddhim. Sat means existence. Existence means that which is there in the past, today, and in future at all times, even before the creation of the universe and even after the whole universe is dissolved, one thing will remain. And what will remain? Existence or Bhagavan. That Bhagavan will always be there. And that is Sat Buddhim. So pay attention to the reality or Parmeshwar or Supreme Lord or Atma or Brahman. So pay attention to Brahman with your mind and no passion for the things outside in the world. Avoid the passion for the wealth and possessions. Yallabase. Yallabase means whatever you are entitled to. Nija, yourself, your efforts. Karma, nija karma is your own efforts. And upattam, upattam is obtained. Whatever you obtain with your own hard work. Vittam, vittam is wealth, money, dollars. Tena, with it. Vinodaya chittam, chittam is mind. And vinodaya is enjoy. So let's put the whole thing together. Oh, full, let go the thirst to possess the wealth. Create in your mind, devoid of passion, thought of the Brahman, thought of the Supreme Lord. Enjoy whatever you can make with your own efforts and your own hard work. So, when Britishers found this out, they were so happy. They were happy because they interpreted incorrectly. They think that these Hindus don't need to get paid. And you don't have to give them raise. And they don't deserve money. So we can pay them as little as possible. And we can get away with it. Why? In their scripture, it says, Dhanagam Trishna. Let go the wealth. Totally incorrect. Totally misinterpretation. If we are educated and if we deserve the salary today, 500,000, you better ask for 500,000. And if you agreed with your boss that you should receive the salary of 500,000, if he ever pays 490,000, guess what? Sue him for the remaining 10,000. Because that is not the meaning of this sentence. This is not the meaning of this shloka. Wealth is innocent. Wealth didn't commit any crime. We are entitled to make what we are supposed to make. It is not to be renounced. What is to be renounced? What is the most important word in all these 12 words? Trishna, greed, thirst. That is to be renounced. What does that mean? That you can have and you can earn as much as you want, but you don't want one extra penny collected unethically or illegally. So unethical, illegal attainment of the wealth is trishna. That is greed. That is lobha. That is what we don't want. But that doesn't mean that we don't deserve the raise. That doesn't mean that we are not allowed to collect the money. Actually, Grahasthashram is the time when we all work very hard and collect the money to be used in Vanprasthashram and in Sannyasashram. Otherwise, how will we survive in Sannyasashram if we don't have any pension fund? So we have to have the wealth. Wealth is not bad by itself. It is how we use the money makes it a problem, and how we illegally collect the money unethically, that is a problem. But wealth itself is absolutely innocent, and we are all entitled to collect whatever we want to collect. There is nothing wrong with collecting. So there are problems of collecting. And different Upanishads and different examples we know day and night. We got 4 minutes. Okay, I will finish in 5 minutes. So remember, there is a guy named John Codell. John Codell is the one who is in charge of mobile cell phone in UK. He is a billionaire, not millionaire, billionaire. And he said that money does not make you happy. After collecting $1 billion, money does not make you happy. It is actually true. Money does only one thing. It increases our comfort. That's all money does. And comfort has a value to a certain extent. So money can buy the comfort, but money cannot buy the happiness. And there is a big difference between the two. And this is what Shankaracharya understood 1200 years ago. And this is what Ved Vyas wrote 5000 years ago. Nothing has changed. Everything is the same. The world is the same, what it was then and what it is now. Another example, everybody know that Bernie Madoff, the guy robbed the people by only $50 billion. That is incorrect. That is greed. That is unethically, illegally collected wealth. And Shankaracharya said, you can't do that. There was a movie by Danny DeVito, if you have watched. Its name was OPM, Other People's Money, OPM. And in that movie, Danny DeVito, all he did is that he bought the corporations, those which has less stock price than the value of the property the corporation owns. So he goes and buys, fires everybody, close down the factory, sell everything, and he makes several times the money than what he actually put in because the stock prices fell. That is greed, because you are hurting the people and earning the money. I was listening to one of the Jain expert who was giving a talk in somebody's house here. And he says that in Jainism, those who really know the scriptures well, and he knew his scriptures very well, he said that to collect the money more than what you need in your life itself is sin. I mean sin in Jainism. That's what he said. So collecting is a problem. Then Lord Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, what did he say? Is that if you surrender to me, that means to Bhagwan, to Brahman, to Lord, to Atman, if you surrender to Bhagwan, he will take care of your yoga kshema. Yoga kshema means collection of wealth and protecting the wealth. Yoga kshema. Bhagavan says that I will take care of it if you surrender to me. That's what in Bhagavad Gita. Then there is Upanishad, Katha Upanishad. In Katha Upanishad, there is a child, I think 8 or 9-year-old child. His name is Nachiketa. And he is discussing with the Lord Yama. And Yama offered him money, jewels, property, kingdom, long life, whatever other thing that he wants for his comfort, including women. And Yama said, and Nachiketa said, keep it for you. I don't want it. That is the dispassion required to understand scriptures and Brahman. And Yama said, I have never found a student as good as you. And then the whole Katha Upanishad begins. And then whole teaching of Yama begins, which is Katha Upanishad is all about. Then there is another Upanishad called Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. It's a very thick, very big Upanishad. And it says that nobody can get the moksha if you are very wealthy. That doesn't mean that you throw the money away. Your attachment to your wealth will prevent you from getting moksha. Moksha is a peace of mind. So we understand that the money is necessary to get the peace of mind. And the Upanishad decides that the one who has a lot of money will never have the peace of mind. Just the opposite. And then the last example is in Ishavasya Upanishad, the Rishi says is that give up and enjoy. That the possessions, whatever possessions, and it's not just in terms of money, all other properties also. Possessions, give up. And when you give up the possession, you enjoy the life. You enjoy, you are happy, you are blissful for the rest of your life. Covet not others' wealth. Neighbor's 1 penny is not yours. Somebody else's 1 penny is not yours. Don't look for it. That is what the Upanishad says. Now, I know that a lot of people have a lot of questions. I will stop here. Go ahead and ask, and we'll discuss. Before that, I can close, and then I will sit here for another 15-20 minutes if you desire for you to ask the question. So let me close. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purna Udachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Okay, any question?
So before people start asking their questions, Jatin bhai, you had mentioned about some books. If you would like to just share some information about that,
Okay.
that you had said. Yeah.
Okay, so this book cost $4. I have some 7-8 brand new unopened book. If you want, if you send me your address tomorrow, yeah, this is the book. This is the way the book looks like. So I can mail to your address if you send me the name, your address on WhatsApp and send it to me. I will make sure that before the next session, you will have the book with you. But I only have 7 books, 6 or 7?
Nine books.
Okay, 7, 8 books are left over, and that's all I can mail. If you are buying this book, and if you want a Gujarati book also, I will give you for free because I have 30-40 Gujarati books are left over. Bhaja Govindam, same book in Gujarati. It is translated. The same book is translated by somebody in Gujarati. And at one time I bought 100 and I have a leftover some 15-20 of those. So anybody who can read Gujarati, and if you want Gujarati book, I will give it for free. If you're ordering this one, then I don't have to mail 2 books.
Would you mind, perhaps if whoever is with you can just put the information of how they can contact you or
Yes,
give your
on the
address?
same WhatsApp, right now I will put my address.
Okay.
And no, you don't need my address. You only need to give me the WhatsApp
Right.
information of your address, and I will mail it to you.
Right. So your WhatsApp number is what?
Same 516
Hmm.
384 1937. I repeat, 516 384 1937. But I will be able to send it to first 7 or 8 people. And if more than those number of people want the book, then you will have to get it directly from Chinmaya Mission Publications.
Jatinji, can I ask a question, please?
Sure.
Okay, so you say it is said finders are keepers, right? So if you find a $5 on the road, do you keep it, or do you give it away, or let it stay on the road?
I would say that any wealth which you received, which you don't deserve, you have a right to keep it, but then donate it. So pick it up, put it in your pocket. Nobody has that right on it because you found it on the road. And when you go to the temple next time, put it there.
So release yourself of your collection. Don't possess it.
You can if you want to. There is nothing illegal that you did. So it's not something that you did which is unethical, immoral, or illegal. So it's perfectly fine to keep it if you want to keep it. But the easy thing to do is that next time when we go to the temple, put that money there. Let the temple have it.
Ratiji, the saying goes that when you die, you should die a pauper. Have nothing left.
I don't. Will your children be happy about that?
Well, children, you already gave as much as we can give. So it's very individual.
But truly, I can tell you right now, the world has changed so much that the children will tell you, Mom, Dad, I want nothing from you. I'm fine. So that's what the children tell you. I mean, of course, we feel good when we give it to the children and give as much as you can. But please remember, we want to die with punya. We want to carry punya with us when we die. And we can't wait until the last day to do that punya. That day will never come. So let's start doing it now, today, right now. Let's do some favor to the other people. Jana Seva is as a matter of fact, the first time when Brahmaji created the people, they said that, okay, share and grow. Share means karma yoga. Share means sharing with everybody else and grow. So that teaching was there from the first time when the first man was born on earth. And that teaching remains the same even today.
Thank you, Hari Om. Lakshmi.
So Dr. Kapadia, I just got a message from Savitri Manjanath. She said that she would like a book, one of the books, and she says you already have her mailing address.
You got it. It will be mailed tomorrow.
Great.
Thank you. Thank you very much, both of you.
No problem.
Thank
no
you.
problem. No problem.
Does anybody else have any questions?
Jatin bhai, I requested book also. This is Harsha. I already put it in a message for you.
I have your address too.
Yes.
No problem. I will send it to you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Bhavna ji?
Ha, Nattu bhai, bolo.
No, this is Rohit Patel.
Ah, Rohit bhai, sorry.
Thank you for this program. It was very nice. I enjoyed it very thoroughly. And I need a book too. I put that on a chat.
Okay.
And I will put on a WhatsApp also my address and everything. And please let me know, should I mail a check or what address should I mail a check to? Or how would I pay for the book?
So Rohit Patel would like the one in Gujarati, right, Rohit bhai?
I can have both. If you
Yeah,
have, but
Gujarati is free. I have it at home, so I will put it with English. No problem. You got it.
Okay.
Thank you, Jatin.
So I have put Dr.
Very nice
Kapadia's
program.
yeah, I have put Dr. Kapadia's number in the chat box. So if you would like to have the number, I'll say it again. It is 516.
1 second.
3.
1 second, please.
Yeah.
भावना जी
1 minute, Nattu bhai.
516.
516 384
Mm-hmm.
1937.
Okay.
So you can find him on WhatsApp with that number. And if you can just, through WhatsApp send your mailing address to him, then he will mail out the books.
I will do that. I just wanted to reserve my books, and I will send. I will put my information on WhatsApp, please.
Perfect.
You got it. I wrote your name. No problem.
Thank you.
Jatin ji. Oh,
Yes.
Jatin.
Yes. My dear brother, go ahead.
I have a suggestion. Can I
આ
talk?
ત્રીજી વાર મારું તો
Can I
ત્રીજી
talk?
વાર ચાલે છે.
I know. Yes, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. જતીન ભાઈ જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ
નટુભાઈ,
નટુભાઈ
બોલો.
બોલું છું.
Yeah, go ahead.
અવાજ સંભળાય છે?
Yes.
અચ્છા, એક
Go
કામ
ahead,
એક
please.
છે મારું સજેશન.
Yeah, go ahead.
ગુજરાતીમાં જે ચોપડીઓ કહ્યું કે ફ્રી છે તમારા હાથમાં એક કોઈ નહીં રહે.
Very much. Doesn't
હવે બીજું છે
matter.
$4 book. Who bear the mailing expense and how much it is?
Well,
If
mailing
instead of
expense.
mailing, giving you trouble.
Okay, let me tell you, mailing expense is $1.80. It cost me when I mail you this one. When I put two books together, $1 more. So it doesn't matter. You just write a check and send it to me and write
No,
the check.
mailing is not free. I have some other suggestion.
Okay, go ahead.
If one volunteer, we call it saver. If the organizer make a list, who wants which one, how many books, and one volunteer go and pick it up, we are saving mailing expense.
That's a very good idea.
Whatever money is at the government, I will bear my toll and traveling to come and pick up all the books. I give it to the president of the temple and let them collect from there. Money has to come first to the president. Whatever money we are saving from postage and mailing should be donated to the temple.
Okay.
And if somebody wants, instead of me, 75-year-old man driving, if that young person wants to go and drive, go to Long Island, pick up the book, I will be more happier.
All right. So whatever you listen.
मेलिंग करने का आपको ट्रबल देने का आप हमको ज्ञान की पुष्टि करते हो ना वही बहुत है.
Thank you, Nattu.
My point is this: whatever you decide, as long as I can I'm ready to cooperate. And please call me. It's fine. I was hoping that somebody would ask me the question about what we talked about today.
Yeah.
This time was meant for that.
That is I put it in reserve. That is what I put it in reserve. There are so many questions.
Okay. So does anybody have any questions? Nattu bhai, તમને સવાલ પૂછવો હોય તો પૂછો. હવે આ ચિટચાટ નથી કરવી અમને. Okay.
आपने बर्नी मैडम की बात किया है तो उसमें मैं एक लाइन बोलता हूँ आप प्रकाश कीजिए. यदि आपको आपके अंदर संतोष है तो आप सबसे अमीर है. शांति है तो आप सबसे सुखी है. और आप में कंपैशन दया है तो आप बहुत अच्छे इंसान हैं. तीन चीज: संतोष, शांति एंड कंपैशन, दया भाव. उसके ऊपर प्रकाश डालिए ताकि हमारी जो ये यूनियन समझो मंदिर का टेम्पल कमेटी सेवक लोग हैं कि मतभेद को दूर करो. आपने जो भगवत गीता का पाठ सिखाया आज, उसके आधार पर मैं आपको कहता हूं कि कुछ सीख दीजिए बेस्ड ऑन वैदिक आंसर. We want to get stronger so that the more and more people will join. Okay, whatever they have. We will
કાકા હાઈ
try.
જરૂર છે હજુ કાકા પતી ગયું બધું તો Yeah.
Okay.
Vilas ji, were you saying something?
Yeah. उसके बारे में बोलिए। वैदिक कल्चर के हमको ज्यादा स्ट्रॉन्गर बनना है, मतभेद को दूर करना है और मंदिर का काम जितना जल्दी बने, हर एक लोगों के साथ कांटेक्ट करके। जो मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन जाती है वो सब कुछ कर्मयोगी है, कैसा है वो आप बताइए। बेस्ड ऑन वैदिक नॉलेज ऑफ भगवद गीता, कर्मयोग।
बोलो
कॉम्प्लेक्स क्वेश्चन है,
Were you able to hear that, Jatin?
I don't know the specific question. If you will ask me, I will answer.
Okay. So I think his question was that he was saying that if you are satisfied, तमने जो अगर हम हमारे में संतोष है तो हम सुखी हैं.
Okay. All right. Let me just explain a little bit more. There are many ways of becoming happy. You eat gulab jamun and you are happy. You buy a nice suit and you are happy. You have a good conversation with somebody else and you are happy. There are 100 ways we all are happy every single day. That is not enough. Those happiness last very short time. I like mithai, I like sweets, but when I eat, I'm happy only for 10-15 minutes. Not good. So let me tell you one thing somebody described, and it's not me, it's another Swami who described. If you want to be happy for 4 hours, take a nap. If you want to be happy for a whole day, go fishing. If you want to be happy for a month, get married. If you want to be happy for a year, 1 year, win lotto. If you want to be happy for the rest of this life, make others happy. If everybody around you is happy with you, they will make you happy. But if you want to be eternally happy, you must learn scriptures. You must be realized. Then you have an eternal happiness. So that is the answer. There is no happiness. There is no state of mind and permanent and forever. And it is unlimited. There is no peace of mind and no happiness other than knowing scriptures. Realization, that is called moksha. Moksha is an absolute infinite happiness. That's what we want. We don't know how to get it. That's why we are happy with little things in life. But that little happiness only lasts little time. That's not good enough. It is good. It's good for the time being, but it's not permanent.
Thank you.
That is really the answer.
Okay. Are there any more questions?
Yes, I have a question.
Please go ahead.
Purpose, the way to get moksha is through Advaita, Vedanta, Gnana Yoga, and most of the people go through this Navadha Bhakti.
Correct.
And if you stop there, it's not sufficient, right, to get moksha.
Correct.
So is that one method of, because we usually like to see things, so we make things up like God, say Avtara, and then we worship with them. So we are trying to know the finite to reach infinite.
Correct.
Is that the way it works?
Okay. Let me explain you. A bird can fly only with 2 wings, not 1 wing. Otherwise, he goes round and round. The 2 wings of our mind, Bhakti Yoga and Jnana Yoga. So we all must have the faith in the Brahman, in the Lord. That is Bhakti Yoga. You have to have that. There is no exception. There is no shortcut. But our unhappiness is because of our ignorance. Ignorance can only be removed one way, by the knowledge. So unhappiness is because of ignorance, sorrow is because of ignorance, and that ignorance can only be removed with the knowledge. So a bird can fly with 2 wings only, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga. So you need both.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Any more questions?
Can I ask one question?
Absolutely.
Sure, go ahead.
When you said the Bhakti Yoga and the Jnana Yoga, okay? Now, the people may have a Jnana and they don't have a Bhakti. What is the difference between the Bhakti and Shraddha? Is this the two same thing or they are different?
Shraddha in Lord is a necessity. But
Start with that.
But that's not enough. So, Shraddha is a part of initial characteristics of a good Vedantic student. And if we have a couple of minutes, we can go up to...
Take your time, whatever time you have, Dr. Kapadia.
So let me explain you. Some things are absolutely necessary even before this talk today. And we had a shortcut. We didn't understand that yet. We will understand it later. So what are the things necessary to be a good disciple or a good bhakta or a good Vedantin? Following things are necessary. Viveka, knowing what takes us to Lord and what takes us away from the Lord. Viveka. Vairagya, detachment. It is only a mental detachment. Whatever money you have in the bank, you don't have to throw it away, but you can live without. So that is a mental detachment. Then Sat Sampatti. There are 6 capacities, the wealth of the mind, and I will mention that. Sama, Dhamma, Uparati, Shraddha, Titiksha, and surrender. So Sama is what? Control of the senses. Control of the mind. Dhamma, control of the senses. Shraddha, faith in the Lord, faith in the scriptures. Titiksha, ability to tolerate small pains in life. It's little hot and little cold and little hard surface and little soft surface. Stop complaining. So that is titiksha. Uparati means a withdrawal of the mind from outside world, and the large samadhana, a capacity to concentrate while we are meditating for a longer period of time. The 4th and the last capacity, last quality necessary is mumukshutvam. Mumukshutvam is intense desire to attain Brahman. Now, all these things are necessary before we know Vedanta. Unfortunately, we can't learn everything on day 1. So there will be time in the future. We will describe what I just told you in last 2 minutes in a way much more detail. And then you will understand why we have to change ourselves to be supremely happy. They're connected. And without one, another cannot be achieved. So if we are impure to begin with, how can we anticipate or expect the highest happiness with impurity? We have to remove those impurities to be highest. That's the answer.
Also in the Gita, Lord Krishna says that he likes a Jnani Bhakta. The highest Bhakta that is there is the Jnani Bhakta. The Bhakta who has the love for the Lord, devotion, surrender, as well as the knowledge of what Lord is all about.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So thank you very much. If there are no more questions, then I just want to say that Dr. Kapadia is scheduled to be back again on Friday, October 2nd. So we will be, correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
So
I'm
we will be
available.
picking up where we have left off today,
Yes.
I'm assuming. So by that time, and I will send out an email tomorrow with, I will talk to the trustees and we'll figure it out about the books. However, feel free to contact Dr. Kapadia by WhatsApp if you would like to. The important thing is that you do get the books in a timely manner so that you can continue the study along with these classes. So thank you very much. And
So October 2 is perfect. But then we will meet on the Friday after the end of Navratri.
Okay. So we'll exchange the actual dates.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will write to you
through WhatsApp,
but
just so that I get it correct. Yes.
But second is fine.
Yeah. Okay.
That's fine.
That's great. And I also want to announce that next Friday we have our next Hindu Sanskriti Samagam, and we have a very interesting program that we are planning, and that is going to be on Vrat and how to do Vrat and the proper way of doing Vrat and the Vrat ka khana from all across India. So we will be having people demonstrating, how to make certain recipes and things. So that is going to be a very interesting program if you would like to join. We look forward to seeing you back here again. And again, just a reminder, please do stop by the temple site at 390 North Street in White Plains and see the progress of the construction. It might seem to you that it is going very slowly, but keep in mind that we are in the times of pandemic. So things may not happen as quickly as we wanted to, but nonetheless, all the trustees are very committed to making sure that this temple construction continues as swiftly as possible. And if you have any questions about the construction, about the budget, about the finances of the temple, please feel free to contact any of the trustees. Their names and their phone numbers are all on our temple website. They will be more than happy to sit down with you and answer any questions that you have. So with that, if Chandraji is still there,
Yeah.
then we can close today's session, Chandraji. Abhilashji, I'm sorry, I thought you had left. I see that you're still there. If there are any announcements that you would like to make.
No, Bhavnaji, thank you. You explained everything.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Shanti Vishwe Deva Shanti
Brahma.
I think there's a slight problem with her video. So Abhilashji, would you like to continue? Abhilashji, can you hear me?
Sorry.
Yeah. Would you? Yeah.
I can do it from a beginning one more time.
Okay. Thank you.
Om Dyo Shanti Antarikshagvam Shanti Prathavi Shanti Rapah Shanti Roshadhaya Shanti Vanaspataya Shanti Vishwe Deva Shanti Brahma Shanti सर्व शांति शांति रेव शांति सामा शांति रेधि ओम शांति 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 नमस्ते.
Thank you. Namaste, Jatin Bhai. Again, we look forward to seeing you back here again on Friday, October 2nd. And thank you, everybody, for joining us.
Hari
Diman,
Om,
thank
everybody.
you. Hari Om. Diman Bhai, Ilaben, thank you as always. Your support means a lot to us. And Abhilash ji as well. And I'm missing Adya, our youngest participant. There you are. Thank you for joining us. And we'll see you back here again next Tuesday, of course, will be Hanuman Chalisa. And then Friday again, as I said, is the Hindu Sanskriti Samagam. Thank you very much. And good night. And have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you, Bhavna.
Thank you.